When we were observing Gaines Elementary School, there are a few safety issues that concerned us. The first was that the school has no fencing around it. Gaines is located right next to a middle school, and there was no fence that separated the elementary school students from the middle school students. Also, there's a city bus stop located right in front of Gaines. With no fence to separate it, any stranger could walk up upon Gaines and mess with the elementary kid students. Also, when we arrived, school was just getting out, and we were able to walk all around and interact with all the kids. There was no one to stop us or tell us no, and no fence that wouldn't allow us in. Another concern was that the school had no crosswalk in front of it. We observed many kids jaywalking to go to their house across the street. They would also walk with no supervision and horseplay and wrestle right next to a busy intersection. After observing the school, we saw room for improvement with the overall safety. Our biggest concern, though, was with the crosswalks.
The first standard we want to address is a math standard about measurement. We want the students to be able to draw a picture of Gaines Elementary School with a crosswalk. We want them to measure the distance of the road and the width of the crosswalk, and then place a crosswalk where they think it is the best area. We think this will help them work on safety and take into account the traffic of the main highway.
We rooted our ideology in the social justice of math, which allows students to place a focus on the economic and social injustices in their community, as well as learning math along with it. And this places the focus on problem solving, not necessarily the problem itself, but a lot of how the students can be the ones that can solve the problem. We not only want to equip students with the knowledge of how to identify injustices in their society, but how to solve them and have the confidence and the skills to be able to solve them. And it allows math to have a useful aspect to it so that students understand why they're learning what they're learning.
The second subject we chose to address for our lesson plans is social studies. We chose standards that address social justice and geography. The first standard addresses social justice in the sense that it encourages students to discuss valuable traits that figures in their community and historical figures have that are necessary for creating a socially just environment. These standard and the accompanying activities will hopefully instill these characteristics in the students, so they will want to make their communities socially just. The second standard we chose deals with geography. We want students to create their own map of Athens using their own perspective and points of interest, such as their home, their school, a rec center, or maybe even a pizza place. Once the students have created their maps, they will need to find the safest route between point A and point B. We hope that by using their own familiar surroundings, the students will be more focused on safely traveling in their community. Overall, we see much room for improvement in the Gaines Elementary School community, but safety is our main priority. Student safety is a priority in all schools, but it is important that the student's safety continues once they leave the school. By encouraging Gaines Elementary School third graders to consider the social justice issues within their community that relate to their personal safety, we are creating a community of critical thinkers. It is of the utmost importance that we bring the issue of student safety to light within this community, and what better way to start than with the third graders of Gaines Elementary.